Hiya. So I am here with the newest launch and I'm really excited for several reasons, but probably my main reason would be I have been waiting for the Cobalt to come out in a top forever. Probably since the first time they announced, just as like a hint that tops were coming to us a few years ago. I always knew that black was going to be one of them, but I was like, I need Cobalt. I had like an all-time favorite Cobalt shirt that I bought years ago and had seen better days, and I have never been able to find one since. So I was like, this was like what I have been waiting for, and it finally has come. I didn't know it was coming. It was a huge surprise when I saw launch, and I was pumped. So you'll notice that there is 2 prints for this launch, and then we had 3 colors in tops. So I know kind of sometimes they're like, oh, well, why only 2 prints in this launch? It's just a lot for the distributors to kind of all buy at once. When they launched last season, SweetTops, we had tunics, long sleeves, and t-shirts, plus I want to say 6 new prints. Now that was fine during busy season when we were going into busy season and we knew like the volume was going to be high, so it wasn't too awful to place massive orders. But in January, it's a bit much. So SweetLegs was very nice and only gave us 2 new prints, but you might have noticed that they sort of launched 4 prints. So 2 prints were new and 2 prints were vault prints. So what they have kind of been doing is prints that are a bit more in stock. With SweetLegs that launched like a year or 2 ago, they're restyling them, reshooting them, and launching them as vault prints. You'll notice that Lovely Day was one of the vault prints from this launch. And if you will go back to my 12 days of Christmas, the 12 prints for $12.50, Lovely Day was one of the prints. And it was a huge hit. You all loved it. Everyone bought. I had a lot on hand when FedEx actually shipped them. I had a lot and you guys bought them all. And I had like wait lists going and trying to get more because SweetLegs was sold out. I guess when I never really noticed before, they pull the vault prints offline, and probably more along the lines of like ones that were maybe selling really well. Probably a lot of us were kind of selling off Lovely Day just because it's an amazing print and is one of my favorites. And so with all that, they might have been like reducing the numbers, and because the Cobalt is actually in Lovely Day, which is what I'm wearing, it's a perfect print to kind of bring out with the vault prints. With this launch, because the top just goes so well. And I know that down the line, we're going to see Cobalt and we'll see the punch in SweetLegs come throughout the rest of winter into spring, and maybe into summer. I know the mint, we've had mint in all the SweetLegs for 2 years now. When did they launch? September 2019, so just over a year. That mint, I wear my mint top all the time because it's always a new SweetLegs. So I'm hoping that the same thing's gonna happen with Cobalt because I really love the Cobalt. Anyways, so that was my excitement. And so I am wearing, right now, I am wearing the Cobalt Tunic. So this is the one with the pockets. This is the most popular style when it comes to the SweetTops. It's the flowy one. So you're gonna find a pretty big difference with the fabric and the flowiness around the middle. So like when you spin versus the tees. The shirts didn't come out in long sleeve. Because we're going to be heading into spring, and my sales of long sleeves always crash at this time of year. And also the tunic didn't come in white, so it came in the punch, which is this one. This one is mine. I just haven't even taken the tags off. I'm so excited. I've been wearing the Cobalt. So it came in the Cobalt and the punch. Now, why didn't they bring out the tunic in white? It's a lot of white. That would be a lot of white. And it was just a lot. And white stains. And also, SweetLegs has a very large environmental initiative when they want to use safer dyes, safer processing for the shirts. White is the hardest thing for SweetLegs to create when it comes to SweetTops. The hardest. it is the hardest on the fabrics because of the bleaching that goes into it. And it's also the one that has the most amount of harsh chemicals, which they are moving away from. Well, they have moved away from when it came to the tops. When tops launched, that's when they started this whole environmental initiative. It's really important to them. So white is really, really hard. And our first line of tops was the white layering tank, which I'm wearing underneath. And there was so limited of them because the processing when you want to do the environmental side, it doesn't get that true white sometimes. So their order was like really, really big. And when everything was going through the processing, some weren't coming out as white as they were supposed to, and there were variances. Now, when the tops came in, I didn't notice a variance, so maybe it got culled before it got to me. And I don't notice it. I don't notice with the t-shirts, but that's just one thing to kind of keep in mind when it comes to the white shirts. It's a really, really hard process, and I'm really, really happy that they actually work really hard to make sure that it doesn't have that environmental footprint that a lot of other companies take when it comes to making white tops, any tops, but white specifically. So anyways, that is why we don't have a white tunic. It's too much fabric, it's too much work, and it's a lot of white. So stick with the colors. I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I just bought my first white sweater this year since I had children, because moms don't wear white when they're babies are young because you're always covered in spit up. And I have been so ingrained not to buy white that I bought my first white sweater this year, and my kids are 10 and 12. So anyways, the two new prints we have are, this is Sorbet Sunset. I always want to say it the other way. Sunset Sorbet. Sorbet Sunset. It's really pretty. It's very bright. Actually, it would go perfect for Valentine's Day if you kind of want something a little more versatile. You want to wear it on Valentine's Day, be a little festive, but then also wear it later down the line. This is, it has navy in the background, so it actually goes super, super great with the cobalt. I find I've been going through the prints to kind of figure out what tops are going to go best with what SweetLegs, so I can do another episode of She Wore What. And I find when the navy is a very fine detail in it, the cobalt looks fantastic with it, and so that made me pretty happy. I think it was actually probably supposed to be cobalt, but just came out a little more darker, so it's actually closer to a navy, maybe halfway between like a royal blue. But anyways, really pretty. Only in adults. We didn't have any kids in this launch. And then this is Untamed. So this has got to be number 4, I think, with this pattern, just in different colors. We've had red, teal, purple, and now we have blue. And it goes excellent with the cobalt. I'm not a skull fan. You know I'm not a skull fan. There are very few skulls that I own, but it's got cobalt in it, and I take any print that has cobalt in it because I love this color. So kind of excited about it, and it's probably the biggest seller out of the two, but that's no surprise because when it comes to skulls, it always is the biggest seller. And so the bring back print was Lovely Day, which has cobalt in it, which a lot of you already own. So if you do own it, you also now have a very nice top to consider, and I'm just going to change really quickly and show you how the tee fits. So this is the white tee. I figured it was the better one to showcase, maybe because it's the one I ordered the most of, because I like white t-shirts. So you'll notice the tee is not, it's not as swingy as obviously the tunic is. The tee fits very similar, if not exactly the same, if you bought the emerald or if you bought the Merlot in the fall. The tunic fits the same as the Merlot and emerald tunic from the fall. The only difference is obviously short sleeves in the tunic, and the tunic in the fall was 3/4 length. So I kind of almost found it, my arms were really big for the tunics. I just have bigger arms, And so I noticed when I put on the Cobalt, I was like, ooh, this feels bigger. But I was like, oh no, I put my Merlot one on and I'm like, no, it's tight here. That's why. And t-shirt kind of cuts back. So you might notice a difference in that. But other than that, they fit the same. And the t-shirt doesn't have pockets. The t-shirt came in Cobalt, in Punch, and in White. So, these two. Yeah. So Cobalt, Punch, and White. All very good options. I actually am really looking forward to wearing this. Still hunting through my SweetLegs to figure out what best to pair it with when I do my new episode of She Wore What. And so that's the new launch. That's our January collection. So we had the 2 prints at the beginning of the month. We have the tops and the 2 prints now. And what else? I had a few things to say. Oh, so our original Sweet Tops that came in black, charcoal, and mint. There was tunic, long sleeve, and t-shirt. Those, which are branded as Relax, fit, because they do fit bigger, and they refine after bringing those tops out and hearing the feedback from customers and IDs. They refine the fit, so that's why our shirts fit like this now, and the tunics fit true to size versus that you were sizing down before. Those are actually being discontinued. We've been kind of given the heads up that this is the end of the line. We're not going to see any more of these. So they're not going to be a constant. So actually I've moved them to a clearance section on my website. So whatever, there's not a whole lot left. Whatever is left is on for 40% off. If you click the website, and you'll see a clearance section along the top, and it'll bring up all the tops that are on clearance. And they'll stay on clearance until they're sold out. There's not much left, so I don't expect it to be on for very much longer, but I haven't posted about it yet. So if you're watching this, you got an inside scoop. The other thing is social media is getting really, really hard. As a consumer, as a regular person with a regular profile on Facebook and Instagram, it's good because you're seeing more from your friends and family and your groups that are not business related. But as a business, it's a bit harder because it's giving us less and less space for all the businesses to kind of come up in the feed. So Facebook and Instagram are kind of forming us into an ad space, which isn't the end of the world, except we're all competing for ad space. So it's like we outbid each other, and it's getting harder and harder to get like screen time to get it to come up in your feed. So if you're not seeing the sales and the new launches when they come out, I do notice that there's huge, like I was giving out an entire outfit with this launch, and usually I have 180 comments. There was 60. So it's just the way kind of Facebook is going. There are ways that you can subscribe to Facebook and on Instagram, but I'm starting a newsletter so you don't miss out. And actually I'm doing a launch giveaway within the newsletter as well. So if you don't see it on Facebook and you don't get your vote in, you do have a chance to win a pair through the email. And it's actually super simple. When the launch email comes out from me, there's a coupon code in it, and the coupon code is good for 1 pair of SweetLegs, and the first person to use it gets the free SweetLegs. And I've already sent out the launch email for this launch, so if you want to get on the next one, again, you can subscribe via my website, or along the top, drop down under more, there's subscribe to newsletter. And if you're already subscribed, then great, you probably got the email today. Or sorry, yesterday? Went out yesterday. And it actually takes a long time. Not a lot of people are opening them right away, so they don't see that they can get a free pair. So it was actually a huge gap from when I sent the email out to when it was claimed. So you almost have better chances through the email than you would through my launch giveaway. And so there's those 2 things. I think that's everything. Everything's up to date on the website, so all the stock is in and it's available. I'll have a new episode of She Wore What coming soon with outfits to kind of build around maybe your existing SweetLegs to add a new top, or the new SweetLegs on what tops go with them the best. And I think that's it. Hope everybody is surviving. I know I'm having a super duper hard time lately, which you can probably see because I am not posting as much. Creativity is not coming to me very much, and so it's a bit harder. I appreciate every single one of you who've reached out to me, who have noticed that I'm not as present as I usually am, and it means the world to me, just to kind of know that somebody's noticing. So I thank you for that, and hopefully we can get through February and get a bit more sun, and maybe things will turn around. Maybe the kids will go back to school. I don't know, who knows? But if you are suffering, if you are having a hard time, feel free to reach out to me. I answer my messages on my Facebook page very regularly, much more regular than I do my actual text messages or my Facebook personal messages. So by all means, if you just need somebody to talk to, please reach out to me. I am always there. I'm just on the other end. And I think if we can all just kind of band together, we can get through just a little bit longer. And hopefully when spring comes, we can all get outside more, get the sun more. It won't be so bad. I appreciate you staying and watching. And I will be back soon with a new episode of She Wore What. My second episode, because I did the first one before all the Christmas stuff went craziness. And I didn't have any time to do anymore. So I got all the time in the world now, apparently. So anyways, have a great weekend and stay safe.